here ain't a real nigga if you don't represent. Push it, 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 push it. Go get the money, go get the money, go get the money, go get the money.
Hello everybody, it is your boy, Boy, it's Mr. Miracle, back on air again, grabbing this mic once again to talk briefly on 3 more characters from the Naruto series, kind of like how I did, mainly with, kind of how I did firstly with, Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura from, not Sakura, Naruto, Sasuke and Neji. How long ago was it? I think it was like 2 or 3 months at this point. But yeah, today I decided to talk about, like for the past few weeks or so, I just been trying to figure out, I just been thinking, trying to figure out like who I can talk to next and whatnot. Just make this like into a little series where I talk about 3 different characters from kind of like any kind of show, and just giving like a little brief analysis, or if it's not an analysis, it's about like how I feel about the characters, either on a personal level or just overall pertaining to like their individual story. I thought about doing characters from Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, possibly Soul Eater as well. Soul Eater, I love that fucking series. But yeah, that's all. Just only time will tell with that, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, go ahead and get into this. So since I'm talking about Naruto first, but before that, I decided to talk about Naruto, Sasuke's, and Neji's girlfriends, or like their wives, or the people that they end up marrying. Now I know technically Neji didn't marry anyone, on the fact that him dying and getting impaled. Spoiler alert. But for like the longest time before YouTube, I'm not gonna say when it was getting big, I say like in like the very midst of when it started to get big, around like 2007, 2008, there was like a whole lot of these like online chat rooms. I talked about them briefly. I talked about the Sonic the Hedgehog ones briefly in my Sonic the Hedgehog video from almost a year ago now. But just like Sonic the Hedgehog, there was these online chat rooms and whatnot, and the different creators of each of the chat rooms would pair up the different characters of the show. Before the last came out, or Boruto came out, they would pair up these different characters with like how they wanted them in their own like little ships and whatnot. And if you don't know what a ship is, like in like the fandom world, a ship is pretty much someone putting 2 characters together in like a loving relationship, whether it be at just purely loving or a sexual relationship. That's what a ship is. But yeah, even though Neji didn't marry anybody, the main girl that I would always see Neji being paired up with before Boruto came out, and she was in the parent being with Rock Lee, I always see Neji paired up with Tintin. So yeah, those are the 3 characters I'm going to end up talking about. Naruto, Sasuke, and Neji's, like, their counterparts. So I'm going to be talking about Neji, wrong Hyuga. I'm going to be talking about Hinata, Sakura, and Tintin. Now, starting off with starting off with Hinata. I really definitely do like Hinata's character. She is really one of those shy, timid, but also like very loving. She's pretty compassionate. She's a pretty compassionate girl too. And I think her personality was made all that much more to be led to being like shy and timid, because Hinata, just like Neji, is a Hyuga, but Hinata was born to the main branch, the main heir of the Hyuga's main branch household. And she was pretty much royalty in a sense, even though she wasn't really like a queen or anything, but she was like the clan's main heir. And she was set to take leadership of it after her father, Hawashi, I forgot to pronounce this dude's name, but you guys know who her father is, or I'll probably put a picture up on the screen for you guys. But yeah, she was set to take the throne after her father passes away, like how it is with all world families and whatnot. But yeah, Hinata is a shy and timid girl. Ever since from her early days at the academy, she mainly wouldn't talk to anybody. But I know you will always see her kind of keeping an eye on Naruto, or just whenever he would be like by himself, he will always have an eye, or she will always have like her eye watching him, like trying to, and that was my phone. Like trying to excel and become better at what she does or what he does. Trying to show everybody that he can become a great ninja and become Hokage. We aside from being a watcher, Hinata, there's not really much about her character, but I feel like out of all the female characters in the show, I do like Hinata the best, just because I honestly don't know what it is, but there's something about like the shy, timid, kind of loving nature of like a girl that really attracts me to them. I honestly don't know what it is, but it's the thing. She's definitely skilled at it, but she may not be like one of the top skilled users of the Byakugan or the Gentle Fist, as being shown evident by how capable both Neji and Hanabi was at it. And I think even her daughter Himawari might be a bit better with the whole art than Hinata is. But yeah, she's a pretty interesting character. I'm trying to figure out like how I can explain it and whatnot. She doesn't have all that many abilities, but from like the few that she does have, like she does have the air palm. She does have her, I think it's called twin. I don't quote me on this, but I think it's called the twin dragon fist, where she uses like some of her chakra to create these big ass like lion heads on her fist to do like all that, to do like massive damage and everything. And I'm not, and then I won't even try to flex with you guys or lie with you guys either, but the fact that she was one of those girls that was not really like well endowed at all, but she just ended up, like once she hit puberty, you can tell she hit puberty because her breasts got huge. Her breasts got huge, and that I'm not even gonna lie, that does high key play a part in why I like her. And one thing about that, it's weird, but I've seen it in almost every single show. Like I know it's in Naruto, it's in Blue Exorcist, I believe it's in One Piece. I'm not even gonna count One Piece because every single girl in that show has huge tits for no reason. What other show am I thinking of? Well, yeah, it's in a lot of shows, and it seems to be like a trope. Like always, the shy, timid girl always seems to be one of the ones that have the biggest breasts. If it's not the shy, timid girl, it's always the boss, bad chick that rejects almost every single man that tries to come her way. I'm trying to think of what else I can say on Hinata before I move on to Sakura. There's not much really to say about her. Not like all seriousness and all jokes aside, not just because I feel like the fact that she has like really large breasts is just like a side thing why I might like her. But Hinata is just she's a pretty decent character. She's kind of like Naruto in the sense that she was a severe weakling, but because of like determination and also just from Naruto being a big influence on her, she managed to become all that and definitely strong. Got the determination to not give up on herself and to try to become as strong as she can. To even, did she want to keep up with Naruto? I don't think so, but to even keep up with Naruto and be just as strong as him. And she is pretty brave and courageous too, especially when that was showed heavily when she jumped in front of not Nagato, but what that nigga, oh my god, I'm forgetting people's names, man. But when she jumped in front of the main Pain to try to save Naruto, that probably made me like her all that much more as a character, just because like she's brave and courageous, but on top of being shy, timid, and a beautiful person as well. She's pretty cute. But yeah, I've been rambling far too long on Hinata as it is, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Sakura. Now Sakura, uh, Sakura is weird because like there's like a huge like debate on like whether to like or dislike her, not really with me, but with just like the main people in the community, because you will see people just completely tearing her down, and others you will see other people praising her and whatnot. But the majority of the community does completely hate Sakura with an utter passion, and I can see why. Just because Sakura, especially when she was younger, she really grew out of it, especially after the time skip. But Sakura, when she was younger, she was kind of like one of those stuck up, snobby valley girls. Stuck up, snobby valley girls that was like so smart, didn't always swoon after the hot, attractive, well talented guy, which is Sasuke in this case. And then not giving the underdog the quote unquote annoying, or especially the underdog that would try so hard to get her attention, and it even proved it with like some very good merits, but she just straight up ignored this dude for the more hot, attractive guy, which is Naruto in this case. Talk about the underdog, not the hot, attractive guy. But yeah, she was just really one of those snobby fucking valley girls. Ino was as well. That's probably why they was like such good friends and whatnot. But yeah, she definitely grew out of that pretty damn quickly, and after the whole fight with Keen, Dosu, and Zaku. There, especially, that was definitely one of the more breaking moments to where she definitely started to really heavily change her personality. Like, not really trying to get like skills or anything set going, but definitely her personality changed after seeing Sasuke and Naruto go hard and just go head to head with Orochimaru, the deadliest, most sinister looking the sinister motherfucker at that point in time yet. And those two just going like so fierce and so hard. Naruto just beating away at Orochimaru summoning his snake, and then Sasuke awakening his Sharingan and displaying some excellent fire style jutsu against Orochimaru. And then after those two got extremely exhausted, Sakura, and then this wasn't the first moment too, but Sakura started to change because she said it was her time to start stepping up and not just take a backseat to Naruto and Sasuke. And that was another thing too. She Sakura definitely started wising up about that too, because she will always put down Naruto when they was first at the academy and say that this dude ain't shit. He's just a weak, annoying little fool. And then now, since Naruto is doing all this shit and she's taking a backseat, and then she feels like a stupid bitch. Well, yeah, she's definitely started turning around after her whole encounter with King, Dosu, and Sagu. Then, she didn't really do much. It was just kind of like the whole process of her kind of like breaking out to try to like do better, not just be like this helpless little valley girl that will always have to rely on Sasuke and Naruto to take care of any tough situation that they was in throughout the entirety of like the what is the third the third part of the shooting exams, when they had the tournament and everything. Then she mainly was starting to step up, or I'm messing up my words, but that was her whole process after that whole encounter happened in the Forest of Death, and after her fight with Ino during the third round of the tuning exams preliminaries. Like the rest of part one was just her trying, just building. Well, it was kind of like the stepping stones to her finally grabbing Tsunade and telling Tsunade to let her become Tsunade's apprentice. So yeah, now just like everybody else, what I just talked about, that's really the main reason why I hated Sakura, because she was that snobby, arrogant. Oh, excuse me. She was that snobby, arrogant asshole of like a bitch. But then here comes the time skip, and Sakura became a badass. She got super strong. Tsunade taught her how to use her massive strength that was built in, and she even became a medical ninja too, learning and mastering medical ninjutsu. Well, not mastering per se, but just getting more better and proficient at it. And then I feel like that's the thing in Shippuden. Now this is the other half of why a whole lot of people dislike like not really hate or like Sakura. I feel like that's the thing. A whole lot of people like Sakura, but it's just the whole thing. A whole lot of people call her useless because she wasn't given all that much to do, so she wasn't really like useful aside from her medical ninjutsu. And she is a really talented like ninja whatnot, but again, she just wasn't given all that much to do. Aside from her fight with Sorcery of the Red Sand, she doesn't really have all that many feats aside from her fights with Kaguya, and then with going up against like from the war, from Kaguya, Madara, and the war. And what war and whatnot. God damn, I fucking ramble, man. I gotta learn to trim down my fucking videos, man, especially my commentaries. I'm not gonna go too heavily into detail about it because this is just like a pretty brief analysis. I'm looking at 21 minutes on my recording. But yeah, she's a pretty awesome and pretty likable character, mainly towards the second half of part one, and then just about all of Shippuden. But again, it's just that she wasn't really given all that much to do, and that's kind of where I stand on it. It's like I really don't dislike Sakura. I dislike her personality and the kind of bullshit that she pulled. Mainly the bullshit that I think I might have a bad memory, but I think the only bullshit that I can think of that she pulled in Shippuden was when everybody had decided to turn on Sasuke and give up on him and just mark him as rogue ninja and then go out and then take him down. And then Naruto being the true 100 friend of Sasuke, he didn't want to do that, but he wanted to try to talk to him and whatnot. I didn't want to let anybody like take Sasuke down. I guess mainly because they knew Sasuke was gonna body them because he was just all that much stronger than them. So Naruto going with everybody else to try to prevent them. Sakura didn't want him to go, so while they was at like a resort or somewhere in like the middle of like the storm and whatnot, Sakura pulled this completely bullshit stupid thing, and it like is weird, and it's pisses me off too, because she pulled this whole thing of like she never had any sort of interest in this dude whatsoever, but she like not like a loving, like not like a love relationship, it was more so kind of like plutonic love or whatnot. Especially after Naruto started proving himself and proving that he can, like, keep Sakura safe, keep her hopes up, and all that good shit. This being the good dude that Naruto is. Sakura pulled this most fake, bullshitty ass thing of trying to make Naruto give up on Sasuke, was to try and say to him, I love you. Don't go after Sasuke. Stay with me and be happy with me. I love you. Like, after all this time, I didn't really realize it, but now since Sasuke is a rogue ninja, he's become evil. I want to stay with you and be with you, Naruto. And it's like, that's like the most bullshit thing ever, and I know that's probably one of the main reasons why there are people that just despise Sakura, because she had to pull that stupid ass stunt, and she know damn well that she didn't mean it to, that she still had complete head over heels feelings for Sasuke, irrational as fuck feelings for Sasuke too. But yeah, aside from that, um she does end up getting with Sasuke, and I don't know if she does it in the last. I still gotta watch the last and watch that movie and get out the way. But I know she does end up with him in Boruto, and they do have their daughter Sarada and whatnot. And Sarada's a pretty dope character, and I'll talk about her when I get to her. But yeah, a whole lot of like the community is split on whether liking or disliking Sakura, but it is more so the whole thing, and I think that's pretty unanimous too, that everybody does like Sakura as a character, but she just wasn't given all that much to do, especially since he was paired with Naruto and Sasuke, which done fucking 100 things, like 100 different things over huge feats and whatnot. But Sakura barely has any. You can probably count all of Sakura's feats on both of your hands. It's probably that low and whatnot. And that's probably not Sakura's fault, but that's probably just like the I don't know the fucking names. I'm into so many different things, but I don't know the different names of the people that write these works and whatnot. But that's probably just like the creator's fault and whatnot. But definitely not Sakura's. And that's where I stand too. Like, Sakura is a pretty dope character, but she just wasn't given all that much to do. And now with my recording at 26 minutes and like 40 seconds, 35 seconds, I'm moving on to Tenten. No, Tenten. No, it's almost in like a unison agreement that Tenten is far worse and is far useless than Sakura ever could be, because she's just a character that's just like really kind of there. And I know different people like Swag Kage. I don't know if Seth, the programmer, likes her or not either. But I know definitely Swag Kage just hates Tenten's guts because of the whole time that she was explaining like Neji's abilities while Naruto was fighting Neji in the third part of the Chunin exams. Like in Swag's video, he said that pretty much she was just sucking Neji's dick while that whole fight was going down, saying that like all these different abilities that Neji has, nobody can get through like his impenetrable defense or impenetrable defense, and he's just this all around dope OP character. But Tenten as a character, Tenten, she really suffered the whole side character disease and whatnot, because Tenten is a character. She's paired up with Neji and Rock Lee and Team Guy, and then she's with like the rest of the other cast of Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kiba, Shino, Hinata, Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, and all the rest of them. I'm not gonna name off all of their names, but she's with all of them. But she's just wasn't doing all that much either. But she really just didn't do all that much. Like I really do like like Tenten's idea of a character, especially her like way of being a ninja, and like what she does is she's a weapon master. And I feel like they could have elaborated on that in so many different ways, but like showing how she can be good with a sword, how she could be good with a staff, how she could be good with like she used nunchucks but not all that much, but how she could be like proficient with nunchucks or with some other weapons. If they would have given her like some chakrams, oh, that would have been dope. Or like a not a staff, a fucking, definitely not a scythe. Like a fucking spear. That's what I was thinking of. Not a staff or a scythe, but a spear. Like showing how she could be proficient in like all these different weapons, but she just suffered the side character disease, and it's like there's not much to her, but like the only thing that really showcase her is that she mainly was just talking about Neji's abilities and the fact that how she never misses her mark, even though Tamari came in and completely bodied this girl and showed that she wasn't shit. And especially have like the weapons like at her side, not just have them in like a summoning scroll and then like she waved her hand over like the spot where she has each weapon kept and just uses them, but it's like actually have them like on like her back or something like that, and carries them with her at, as she goes through like each mission and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, she's an alright character. I just really wish they would have just did a whole lot more with Tintin, and I'm just sad about Tintin. But yeah, with my recording at 31 minutes 32 minutes I'm now going to go ahead and close this. So yeah, that's my brief little takes on what I think about, or like my little thoughts on Hinata, Sakura, and Tintin. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this rambling session of a recording of just a brief analysis. But like, thank you guys so much for sitting through this entire thing. I do appreciate if you guys kept with me throughout the entire throughout this entire process. But again, thank you. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better at doing this. But thank you so much for sitting through this and watching / listening. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.